Waiting. You want to work out, or write, or study, but you're waiting to feel like it first. The motivation will come, and when it does, you'll ride it. So you check how you feel, and today you just don't have it. So you tell yourself tomorrow, when the energy's there, when your head's clear. It feels reasonable. Why force something when you're running on empty? But here's what's actually happening. You've got it backwards. You're treating motivation as the thing that starts the work, when it's almost always the thing the work produces. The feeling you're waiting for is on the other side of beginning. It shows up 3 minutes in, once you've already started. Never before. So you sit there, waiting for a signal that only fires after you move, and it never comes, because you never move. The people who look disciplined aren't feeling something you don't. They just stopped waiting to feel it. Motivation isn't the match that lights the work, it's the heat that comes off it once it's burning. You keep waiting for the feeling to arrive. It was always waiting for you to start. Going hard. You finally decide you're done being lazy, so you go all in. 6 a.m. workouts, no sugar, 2 hours of study a night, every habit overhauled at once, starting Monday. And for a few days, it's incredible. You're a machine. You're finally the person you meant to be. It feels like exactly what discipline is supposed to look like. But here's what's actually happening. You've set a pace that nothing alive could hold. You're running at 100% on a system built for maybe 30, and the tank was always going to hit empty. The only question was, which day? So day 9 arrives. You're exhausted. You miss one thing, then everything. And you're back on the couch, deciding you're just not built for this. You weren't undisciplined. You were doing too much, too fast, and calling the crash a character flaw. The person who's still going in month 6 isn't tougher than you. They just started slower than you'd have had the patience for. Discipline isn't the fire you light on day 1. It's the small flame you can keep lit on the day you have nothing. You went hard to prove you could. The proof was never in how hard. It was in how long. The ruined day. You're eating clean, and then it's someone's birthday, and you have the slice of cake. Or you miss the morning workout. Or you break the streak on the one bad night. And something flips. The day's already blown, so you might as well finish the pizza. Skip the rest. Write the whole thing off and start clean tomorrow. It feels almost reasonable. Like a torn page means you should throw out the whole notebook. But here's what's actually happening. You took a 5% slip and turned it into a 100% one, all by yourself. The cake was 300 calories. Deciding the day was ruined cost you the other 2,000. Nothing about one miss required the collapse that followed. You chose that part, and you chose it because ruined gave you permission to stop trying. That's the real damage, not the slip, but the all-or-nothing switch that treats one crack as a shattered thing. The disciplined people you know aren't the ones who never slip. They're the ones who slip and then just keep going, like it was nothing. A missed day is a pothole. You're the one who drives the car into a wall because of it. One slip was never the thing that set you back. It was deciding that one slip meant the day was already lost. Easy first. You sit down to work, and there's the one thing that actually matters. The hard report, the difficult call, the project you've been circling for a week. But first, you'll just clear the small stuff. Answer the emails, tidy the desk, knock out the quick tasks so you've got a clean runway. And you do. You're busy the whole morning, checking things off, moving fast. It feels productive, reasonable even. You're not slacking, you're working. But here's what's actually happening. You're spending your best hours on your easiest work. The morning is when your focus is sharpest, your willpower fullest, and you're handing that peak to tasks that barely need it, so that the one thing that demanded your best gets whatever's left. By the time you circle back, the good hours are gone, your head's foggy, and the hard thing gets a tired, distracted version of you, if it gets you at all, because now there's no time. You didn't choose the easy tasks because they mattered. You chose them because they were easy, and easy feels like relief when the real thing scares you. Busy was never the same as effective. You can fill an entire day with motion and never once touch the thing that would have made the day count. The intention. You decide you're going to change. You map out the plan, the workout schedule, the study blocks, the whole new routine. And as you write it down, you feel it. A real rush of momentum, a warmth in your chest, like something's already shifting. You tell a friend about it. You feel like a person who's got their life together. It feels like progress. And in a way, it's the most reasonable feeling in the world. But here's what's actually happening. Your brain just handed you the reward before you did any of the work. The good feeling you're chasing at the end of a hard month? You got a hit of it right now, for free, just for deciding. And that's the problem. The deciding felt so much like accomplishing that the pressure to actually do it quietly drained away. You already got paid. The drive was in the wanting, and you just satisfied the want without moving. The people who change don't announce it or savor the plan. They feel almost nothing at the start, because the feeling you're spending now is the exact fuel they're saving for the work. Deciding to change was never the same as changing. You felt the finish line at the starting gun, and then wondered why you never ran. Future you. The hard thing sits in front of you. The workout, the application, the habit you keep meaning to build. And you decide, genuinely decide, that you'll do it. Tomorrow. Tonight you rest, tomorrow you lock in. And tomorrow's version of you feels real, almost like a different, better person. One who will be rested, focused, finally in the mood. It feels reasonable to hand it off. Why grind now, when tomorrow you is so much more equipped? But here's what's actually happening. You're just handing the work to a version of you who doesn't exist yet. And when tomorrow comes and he finally shows up, he's not the rested, eager stranger you pictured. He's you. Same tiredness, same resistance, same instinct to push it one more day. So he does exactly what you just did and hands it forward again. That's why tomorrow never arrives. Nobody better ever walks through the door. It's the same person every time, making the same call, waiting on someone who's never coming. The disciplined aren't handed better tomorrows. They just stopped believing the person who wakes up will want it more than the person who's awake right now. You keep waiting to become someone who'll do it. You already are that someone. You're just hoping not to be. Buying systems. You're going to get organized, so you buy the tools. The planner with the leather cover, the productivity app with the annual subscription, the course, the notebook, the color-coded template someone swore by. You spend the afternoon setting it all up. Tags, categories, a perfect little dashboard. And when it's done, it looks incredible. It feels like you've started, like you've finally built the machine that'll make you disciplined. But here's what's actually happening. You mistook buying the tool for doing the work. Setting up the system is fun. It's shopping, it's decorating, it's all the feeling of progress with none of the hard part. The hard part was never choosing a planner. It was doing the boring thing written inside it, every day, when you'd rather not. And no app has ever done that part for you. So the planner fills up for a week and then goes blank. The app joins the graveyard of others you downloaded for the same reason. You didn't need a better system. You had everything you needed on a scrap of paper. You bought the machine because building it felt like running it, and it let you postpone the only thing that was ever going to work. A better tool was never what stood between you and the work. The work was always just the work, and no purchase has ever done it for you. The identity. Somewhere along the way, you stopped saying you failed at something and started saying you're a certain kind of person. I'm just not disciplined. I've never been a morning person. I'm bad with this stuff. It comes out easily, almost like a fact about yourself. And there's a strange comfort in it. If it's just who you are, then the failing isn't really your fault, and there's nothing left to fix. It even feels honest, like you're just being realistic about yourself. But here's what's actually happening. You've taken a pile of individual choices and frozen them into an identity. I didn't do the work today is a fact you could change tomorrow. I'm not a disciplined person is a wall. It explains every future failure in advance and quietly excuses you from trying, because you can't fail at being what you already are. That's the trap. The label feels like self-knowledge, but it's really self-permission. You didn't discover you weren't disciplined. You decided it, one skipped day at a time, and then mistook the verdict for the truth. Nobody is born disciplined or born lazy. There are only people doing the thing today and people who aren't, and the only difference is which one you'll be in the next hour. You keep saying it's just who you are, but who you are was never a fact you found. It's a sentence you've been repeating until you believed it.